Institutional medical claims are incredibly important for doing healthcare analytics and research. These are claims that are built on Form UB04 or CMS 1450 or on Form 837I in electronic format. So in practice, when data teams get access to claims data for analytics purposes, the data has been previously transformed in the data warehouse of their data provider, and it is extremely common for data quality issues to be introduced into claims data sets through this transformation process. It is also pretty common for data providers to omit certain fields when sharing a claims data set. So in practice, analysts getting access to claims data sets end up getting data that is riddled with data quality problems. Here, I'm going to talk about how we deal with data quality issues related to a few specific fields on institutional claims that are very important for analytics. So I'm going to focus on fields that, first of all, should be populated on every single institutional claim, fields that are header fields, so that means that they should have a single unique value for any given claim, and fields that should be populated with standard codes from healthcare terminologies. So examples of these types of fields are things like bill type, admit source, discharge disposition. Now, what kind of data quality problems can these fields have? Well, first of all, they should be populated on every single institutional claim. They could be missing on some claims. They should be unique for any given claim. They could have multiple values for a claim. And they should be populated with standard healthcare terminology codes. They could be populated with invalid codes or codes that are not from these standard terminologies. So a way to visualize occurring data quality problems exhaustively for these types of fields is the following. I'm going to give an example using bill type, which is an example of these types of fields. And I'm going to make up some numbers of an imaginary claims data set to visualize how this would look. So first of all, I would list the total number of institutional claims that I have in my claims data set. And then I would say what percentage of those claims have a populated bill type and what percentage of those claims have a missing bill type. By populated, I mean that the claims have at least one populated value for bill type in one of the claim lines. Now, of all the claims that have a populated bill type, I would break that into the claims that have always a valid bill type, claims that have sometimes a valid and sometimes an invalid bill type, which this implies obviously that there's multiple distinct values for bill type in any given claim, which is itself a problem. And then the claims that always have an invalid value for bill type on every single claim line. Now, of all the claims that have at least one valid value of bill type populated, we can further break that down into the claims that have a unique value for bill type. That means that the bill type code is the same value on every single claim line, and the claims that do not have a unique value for bill type. If a claim does not have a unique value for bill type, they could have different values of bill type on different claim lines, like in this example. And it could be the case that one value is more common than the others, in which case we call the field determinable. And what we do is we populate the single unique value of bill type for the claim with the most commonly occurring bill type code for this claim. It could also be the case that one value of bill type is not more common than any other value, in which case we call the field to be indeterminable. Like in this example, there's two different values for bill type on different claim lines, and they're both equally frequently occurring. So we can't populate bill type code for this claim, and we would not assign a bill type to this claim to do analytics. So the claims that have a non-unique bill type can be broken down into the determinable ones and the undeterminable ones and the determinable ones. And then the sum of all the claims that have a unique bill type and that have a determinable bill type are the ones that are actually usable. So by visualizing this kind of graph for any given claims data set, we can at a glance see the percent of institutional claims for which this field is usable. And when the field is not usable, we can see the reasons why it's not usable. So this is a way we like to see this kind of data quality problem.